Number 2.
My name is Frank William Abagnale.
Steven Spielberg's 2002 film, Catch Me If You Can, is an unfading masterpiece that combines a gripping detective story, sparkling humor, unexpected twists, and a vivid performance by Leonardo DiCaprio. It is based on the true story of Frank Abagnale, the youngest and most skilled con man in American history, who became the prototype for DiCaprio's character. The film, which has held steady in the top 30 movie ratings for many years, is not a work of fiction, but a depiction of Abagnale's real-life adventures, as described in his 1980 autobiography. Abagnale's own tricks and machinations, which put the entire security of the American power structure at risk, are described in great detail in the book, upon which the screenplay is based. Let's discover what caused Frank to anger the formidable FBI. Before we delve into the story, I would like to request your support by liking and subscribing to this channel. This will help me determine whether to create more content in this format. Now, to begin, one of the future's most wanted criminals in American history victim happened to be none other than Frank's own father. At the age of 16, Frank had asked the head of the household to obtain a credit card and used it to purchase gas at a local gas station. He had made a deal with the gas station attendants to inflate the final receipt and then split the extra profit among themselves. This is how Frank managed to steal over $3,000 from his unsuspecting father, until a bank representative appeared in person to report the accumulated debt. Frank's father never received the checks that were mailed to him, as they were intercepted and destroyed by his enterprising son. This event, which is a noteworthy historical fact, was not utilized in Spielberg's film despite its potential as a compelling plot twist. In order to avoid his father's anger, Frank fled and began to refine his fraudulent schemes on unsuspecting individuals across various states, gradually expanding his criminal activities beyond merely forging his own checks. The young fraudster wrote a multitude of checks for amounts far surpassing his account balance and cashed them in nearly every bank across the country, evading detection. Frank subsequently progressed to withdrawing money from legitimate customers' accounts and transferring the funds to fabricated accounts. By the time the banks realized the deception, Frank had managed to withdraw over $40,000 and fled with falsified documentation. Frank Abagnale Jr. was not your average teenager. In addition to his intelligence and quick wit, he had extraordinary acting abilities that he honed during his magic tricks. This skill set helped him secure a job at Pan American, a major American airline, at the young age of 16, not as an office clerk, but as a co-pilot. Over the course of 2 years, Frank accumulated over 1.5 million miles of flight time in his pilot's uniform. But here's the catch: he had no idea how to fly a whole passenger plane. When questioned about it, he simply claimed that he had too much to drink the night before and couldn't get at the wheel. However, the shapeshifter was still able to enjoy all the perks of airlines, travel around the world, stay in fancy hotels, and have the company pay for everything for 2 years, despite the setback. But even so, Abagnale wasn't satisfied. On his trip to Utah, he pretended to be a graduate of Columbia University and taught sociology at a local university for a semester, even though he knew nothing about the subject. Frank, exhausted from the monotony of teaching, relocated to Georgia, where he once again resorted to his fraudulent ways by falsifying documents in order to secure a position as a pediatrician at a local hospital. However, Frank's exploits did not stop there, as he also managed to deceive his way into a job as a lawyer for a duration of 8 months, even claiming to have graduated from Harvard. The level of persuasion Frank possessed is open to speculation, but it is clear that no one suspected him of being deceitful. In the movie, Leonardo DiCaprio utilized his extensive acting skills to portray multiple dynamic characters, including a charming pilot, a skilled doctor, and a ruthless fraudster, all within a 2-hour time frame. Despite Frank's cunning and foresight, law enforcement struggled to apprehend him. Eventually, in 1969, French authorities successfully caught Frank after he had committed numerous financial crimes and frauds. He was deported back to the United States, where he was sentenced to 12 years in prison. However, Frank's luck continued to hold, as his notoriety as a con man spread throughout the country, inspiring copycats who flooded the banking system with counterfeit checks, endangering the entire financial structure of America. The FBI enlisted Frank, a skilled forger, to aid in their investigation of various financial crimes. In exchange for his cooperation, Frank was granted his freedom after serving 4 years in prison. Rather than continuing his fraudulent activities, Frank utilized his expertise to educate executives at banks by giving speeches about the vulnerabilities in their security systems. Frank's remarkable tale gained widespread attention, in part due to the perfect portrayal of his story in Spielberg's film. The director expertly balanced irony and crime fiction, comedy and drama, and the charming character of Leonardo DiCaprio with the slightly awkward Tom Hanks character. After being released from prison, Frank Abagnale started his own consulting agency where he advises on security issues. Some of the world's most famous financial corporations are among his clients to this day. Frank has become a millionaire through legitimate means without any fraud. At the age of 73, Frank is a happy family man. It may surprise you to learn that one of his sons works for the FBI, catching criminals, including those like his father used to be. If you enjoyed this format, please support the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos. Goodbye.